What's up, y'all? It's your boy DSC, and today we have some drama in the basketball world. And it starts with Devin Booker and Paul George getting into a spat over Paul George's interview with Klay Thompson. And finally, Dwayne Wade calls out Paul Pierce for all the things he said about him over the years. And finally, Colin Cowherd is at it again and doesn't do his homework and makes a mockery out of Dwayne Haskins. Paul George inadvertently starts beef with Devin Booker. Nothing like a good old NBA drama, because you know this league loves some drama. If you remember, Klay Thompson went viral about a year ago when he was chirping Devin Booker and he hit him with the 4 fingers, signifying that he won 4 rings and Book hasn't won anything yet. And it's safe to say this did not age well for Mr. Klay Thompson. And it followed him up until this day where he was asked about it on the Paul George podcast.
I know, Book, you gave him the...
Yeah, I was in my feelings though, and Book was
time.
busting my that day. I was not where I needed to be. Yeah. You know, stuff doesn't age well, and that didn't age well for me. Like, I don't need to be flexing 4 rings, bro. Like, everybody know that. That's on Wikipedia. My game wasn't where it was at, and we all get insecure at times. I'm man enough to admit that we all have our moments of weakness, so I'm not really proud of that one. Because I see Devin Booker, and I should be like, man, I should be proud of this young man. Like, the work he's put in, he survived a tough regime in Phoenix where everyone's getting traded. He's playing for a new coach every year, but now he's a franchise player because he just kept working. So I admire the guys who have work ethic like that, you know?
And that answer wasn't even close to the one I was expecting, and you gotta respect the love that he gave Devin Booker there. And naturally, this would go viral. So viral, in fact, that Devin Booker would actually respond to it on an Instagram post, giving Klay Thompson a salute emoji, but would also throw shade at Paul George, saying, "Is that the answer you was looking for?" At Paul George, basically insinuating that Paul George baited Klay Thompson into giving an answer to go viral on the internet. And as all these things go, it got back to Paul George, and he needed to reply.
My thoughts on Booker's comments. I mean, he didn't really say nothing other than is that what you wanted to hear? I don't really care. That's Klay's answer. You know what I mean? That's Klay's answer. I asked a question, Klay gave his response. That's Klay's answer. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. Sorry, response.
These NBA players are so dramatic, I love it. And speaking about some more NBA drama, Dwayne Wade finally claps back at Paul Pierce. For whatever reason, Paul Pierce's favorite thing to do is talk about Dwayne Wade. And the conversation always seems to go back to the fact that Paul Pierce thinks he's better than Wade. And there are multiple times this has happened. But this right here was the most recent time Paul Pierce talked about Dwayne Wade.
Put LeBron and Bosh with me. I'm not going to win one. You don't think?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got your shit on.
You put me, LeBron, and
Isaiah Thomas said.
me, LeBron, and Bosh. We not going to win one?
Yeah.
We not going to win a couple?
Yeah.
So I'm saying,
That's true. That's true.
So I'm saying.
So first of all, I actually think that might have been one of the best takes he's had his entire time talking about this issue. Like, yes, usually you win more when you have better players, and the team around Paul Pierce was not very good for a long time until they got Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. Pierce just needs to let it go and let it go into the sunset. They were both great players. But D-Wade has finally had enough and had this to say about Paul Pierce talking about him all the time.
I mean, listen, rent is expensive in America, and I'm living rent free right now. So let them keep going. I like living rent free.
But it is.
Let me make this clear. Dwayne Wade is better than Paul Pierce. But that doesn't mean that they're both bad players. We're talking like maybe 10 or 15 spots all the time. They're both Hall of Famers, and they belong there. So can we finally stop talking about this and move on? Because let me tell you, it's one of those conversations that needs to just go away. And on to the last part of the video. Colin Cowherd. When will this man ever learn? It's honestly insane to me when you get to Colin Cowherd's level, where the guy is like one of the most successful sports personalities on the planet, and he still makes so many mistakes. He's not a one-man show. We're talking about a full team around him whenever he needs it. Like, I completely understand the fact that when you're talking for so long, mistakes come out sometimes. It just happens. And when you're on Colin Cowherd's level, where you talk for several hours a day, you're gonna make small mistakes. But the disrespect disrespect and make a fool out of a player that's no longer here completely blows me away. Colin Cowherd was listing his QBs that could not win a Super Bowl right now, and one of the players on the list shouldn't have been there.
And then the third category is 20 guys who are not getting to a Super Bowl and certainly not winning it. And that's everybody else. From Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just not, that it says can win Super Bowls, it's can't win Super Bowl, okay? So 6 stars, 4 high-end starters, and 20 guys that can't win a Super Bowl.
Bro, how do you make that mistake? So let's just pretend that he didn't know what happened to Dwayne Haskins, and you don't either. So I'm going to give you a high level. Haskins, who was a former first-round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft from Ohio State University, tragically passed away on April 9, 2022, at the age of 24 after being struck by a dump truck. So let's just assume that he didn't know that he passed away, which he does, but let's just play the devil's advocate. He has an entire team that handed him this information, whether it was the graphic or whether it was the actual list of stuff that was being directly handed to him, and they made the mistake as well. How does that happen? And guess what? Fans take to social media to express their outrage over the lack of sensitivity displayed by Cowherd and the FS1 network. The more and more you watch this channel, you'll notice that I'm not one of those overly sensitive people. I just say it like it is. But if you rewatch the video when Colin Cowherd was talking about it, he actually notices, he says Dwayne Haskins' name, and he kind of fumbles for a second and just moves on. Colin, you gotta show some respect, bro. That's it, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe down below, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll be back next time with another update. Talk to you guys soon.